So there's no question that people are buying the product. It's just that their CapEx and their expenses are killing them. At some point, they're gonna have to be conscious of that and make a decision. So when you build this thing out, at some point, you're gonna have this cash flow turn positive for Tesla. And that's gonna determine the stock price.
Would
Does that
that
make
jump
sense?
their stock price hella? Would that jump their stock price hella if they hit positive?
No,
They'll just say.
because what's happening right now, well, not now because the stock's getting hammered, but when the stock was up at 340, 350, Wall Street was pricing in,
It was already inflated.
you know, this model that things were gonna go exactly as planned and that they would start generating revenue. I see if I can find it. Yelp was the same way. I found that, I'm going back, I don't know, when Yelp just had went public, maybe a year or two old. At that time, I found a Proforma that was built out going 20 years on Yelp. Because it took that long before Yelp was actually gonna turn positive, and then after they turned positive, then they forecasted growth before they got constant. So they took Yelp's Proformas and built it out 20 years. Yelp never made the turn. Yelp never actually met those Proformas. That's why Yelp stock went down and never performed. But in terms of us trying to figure out a value, that's what we had to do. All right? And the reason why Tesla, I always laugh, Tesla was priced for perfection. Everyone knows what that means, right? Tesla was priced that there was gonna be no problems in terms of factory, no problem in terms of build out. Tesla stock was priced like everything that Tesla forecasted was actually gonna happen and come. And as you guys know, Murphy's Law, you can't expect that, doesn't happen. And when things didn't go that way, that's why the stock is still overvalued. All right, I lost my train, I don't know on that. What am I doing? Oh, here we go, inventory. Be patient with me, guys. You'll be thankful that I'm actually doing this when everything's said and done. Because you have to build out your Proformas. Equal sign, that. If I had a regular keyboard, trust me, I could go a little faster. I actually had thought about sending them, they should have another one that I could plug in instead of this Logic, what was it, Logitech piece of crap. All right, so we got that. Let's sum this up. Equal sign, sum, parenthesis, all my current assets. Close it up. All right. I'm coming right down to my net number on equipment. I don't need the depreciation because I'm doing that somewhere else. All right, everything else is held constant, correct? Equal sign. Boom. Cool. Equals sum, again, parenthesis. Let's see, plant property equipment, total current assets, close it up. All right, so there it is. There's my asset side, my total assets. I'm coming down to the same thing for liabilities. Equal sign. Sum, parenthesis, close it up. All right. None of these other liabilities are changing with sales. My total liabilities. Total. All right, equal sign. Common stock is not changing. Equal sign. Additional paid in capital is not changing because I didn't issue any new stock. Now, pay attention. I'm gonna put it here. Equal sign. I'm going up to my income statement. And I'm grabbing my retained, what's going into retained earnings. Right there. So now, equal sign. That plus that. My new retained earnings. My treasury stock is not changing, staying the same. I'm not retiring any stock. My comprehensive and other income, I don't know what that is, I'm gonna hold it constant. If you know more, you can pull it apart, but if you don't, keep it constant. Now I'm gonna sum up my owner's equity section. Cool. My minority interest, equal sign. 30 doesn't change. My total equity, equal sign. Yeah, let's see, I'm just gonna do this way. So that plus that. Did I? That plus that. All right. And then my total liabilities and equity, equal sign. That plus total liabilities, that. Now I'm going to add 2 more lines. Insert. Additional funds needed. I'm not going to do the formula because I'm going to work right off my balance sheet. I'm going to take equal sign. My total assets, where I spent my money, minus my total liabilities and owner's equity, where I raised money. I got a negative $403 million. What does that mean? I've got excess cash. Again, if my liabilities and owner's equity is greater, which gave me a negative number, I have excess cash. If that number was positive, I need to raise cash. So this corporation has an excess of $403 million. We don't balance, do we? This was my first pass. We do not balance. So guess what happens? Second pass. 2016. 2016 is not balanced. How can I go to 17? I can't start 17 until I balance 2016. Correct? Let me back up. You're building financial statements, pro formas, that are going to balance. If they don't balance, you can't go anywhere.
What do you mean to get? Because that percent by that dollar amount equals 0?
Total assets, 34, 148. Owner's equity and cash, liabilities, 34. We do not balance.
Could you buy like a competitor company with that 403 million? Just
Well,
for fun?
before we do anything, what do I have to do? We're not even close to being done. We're not balanced. So make sure we understand this now. You're gonna do at least 2 passes. At least 2. Because if I'll show you in a second. We don't balance. So I gotta actually now come back. I gotta go up here. My income statement's not changing, right? Think about this for a minute. I have excess cash. Nothing on my income statement is changing. My interest expense is not changing. So in essence, what can I do? So if I did this correctly, we're about to find out if I did, which I don't think I did up here. I don't think I did, but we're about to find out. So where'd I mess up? It's easy to fix.
What are you trying to do?
My income statement's complete, right? All I'm doing is copying my income statement over.
No, I mean, like, what are you doing to try to get that to balance out?
I'm gonna get there in a second. Be patient. Cool, that's what I want to see. That one didn't work. All right, my income statement's fine. I'm coming up down here now. Please take note. I'm gonna add a line here. Insert. I'm gonna call it plug, P-L-U-G. I'm gonna put some color here so you guys can realize I added this. And right here, equal sign, minus, I'm grabbing that number. I'm taking my additional excess cash and I'm putting it up here. Now, the reason why I'm putting it up here is I don't want you to take that money and increase your dividends. I don't want you to take that money and retire debt. I don't want you to do anything with that money. All right? You would do that based on the company's philosophy. I just want you to take that number and plug it in right there. All right, now, if I did this correctly, which I think I did, that's the reason why I built it this way. I should be able to just, which I did, which is cool. The only one that didn't work was, which I'm not surprised, was this one. All right, so now, I'm gonna take this formula, I gotta increase this formula to include what? I gotta take this formula and also include plus the plug. Nope, I don't wanna do it that way. Now, again, I'm building. Remember, I know what I'm doing going forward. I know I gotta build this out. So here's what I'm gonna do. Escape. Total current assets. Put it here. Plus the plug. Equal sign. I don't want to do that. All right. What happened here? Thank you. board. What am I subtracting? Why am I not balancing? What number's missing? Thirty-four, five. So what number's not balancing up here, Mike? There it is. Double counted it, added. Boom, you should be at zero. All right, we're at zero. All right. Do I have two of these open?
What'd you change?
Yeah,
They had the.
two plugs.
I added the plug-in twice. All right. Let me take a look, let me just say this first. Now 2016 is done. 2016 is balanced. I'm gonna hide this for 1 second.
Let me show you both classes on project.
This is what a pro forma looks like. What I'm doing now is a worksheet. That's not a pro forma. On a pro forma, you're not gonna see all the passes. On the pro forma, you're not gonna see all the calculations. The only thing you're gonna see in the pro forma is the final number. You follow? My pro forma, when I get done, is gonna look just like this. 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I'm gonna come back and format the colors. I'm gonna format everything, so it looks just like this. And the only thing is, you might have an A here for actual, and you might not have it, or have some highlight that says forecasted. But other than that, it's gonna look exactly the same. Bear with me a second. If you hand me in a worksheet as a pro forma, I am going to dock your points. This is not, what I have here right now is not a pro forma. I would cut and paste this to this and have it as a pro forma. Right now, what you have here, and I will change the name, this is a worksheet. Do we understand? Unhide. Worksheet. And for some reason, I don't know why, it closed on me. Canvas did. I'm not doing that again. I'll do it later. Question.
What does the number of passes mean? Like, I don't know, what does it mean?
All right. Everyone with me now. Stay with me. I'm gonna make this a little smaller so you can see everything, because I have to talk. If we came through and we got down here, instead of this being negative, it was positive. It means that we would have to add more debt, correct? So if I add more debt, let's say I gotta put another, right now on the books there's long-term debt. So right now I'm putting on another, what is that? Gosh, it's not even 10%. I'm putting on another let's say I'm putting on another $1,000 worth of long-term debt. This number's gonna change here, isn't it? All right? That number's gonna change on the second pass. But something up here is gonna change also. And what's gonna change up here is sorry, I'm reading upside down. Isn't this gonna change? Isn't your interest expense gonna change on your second pass? Again, your corporation just issued another $1,000 or $1 million worth of debt, or $1 billion worth of debt. Correct? That debt has a coupon on it, 5%. So if it's $1 million, 5% would be what? $50 million worth of interest, correct? Is this number not gonna change here? If that number changes, is this number changing here? Yep. Is this number changing here for net income? I'm sorry. Is this number here changing for net income? Right here? Yep. And is this number that's going to retain earnings changing? Correct? So if that number's changing, when I come down here for my second pass on my balance sheet, my retained earnings is changing again, isn't it? And then when I get down here, guess what? I won't balance again. Which means third pass. And you do a third pass, and guess what? It might not balance again. Could lead up to a fourth pass. I hate to admit this, and I will. When I was in college, we didn't have spreadsheets like this. When I was in college, we didn't have internet spreadsheets in it. We had to do this all by hand and calculate. So you're sitting there with a calculator doing this all by hand. You might be on your fourth, fifth, sixth pass before you actually balance. Everyone understanding that? So for those of you who have to actually issue debt, when you run through your first pass and you have to raise cash, I'm telling you right now, you could be looking at 3, 4 passes. Now here's the good news, and I'll show you the second pass on my Proformas. The good news is I only want you to do 2 passes. So even if your company has to raise capital, on your second pass, it's gonna make it balance here on your second pass, and don't do a third pass. You follow me? Hello?
Yes.
On your third pass, on your second pass, have it balance right here, and don't do a third pass. All right? If you have excess cash, you still have to do a second pass. But your second pass is gonna balance right away. Now here's some rules to kind of understand. If you do this right the first time, if your company has excess cash the first year, most likely you'll have excess cash on all your Proformas as you go forward. Unless, of course, something crazy happens with your forecast or CapEx or something else. If your company needs to raise cash the first year, odds are when you raise the first year, you'll not have to raise cash anymore. All right, it's usually a one-time raise. It should last you the whole 5 years. So again, just some things that if you have to raise cash your second and third and fourth year, odds are you're doing something wrong. Is that making sense, I hope? So that's a way to check yourself. All right, get out, come back.